Now, if you
Now we don't know why SGR isn't here. It's a perfect time for him.
that
But
is
he
fucking dead.
has
It 1
failed to show.
p.m. for him, and that motherfucker can't even get online to do this.
It's 2 p.m. for him actually.
What?
Oh, it's
And
2,
I-
it's
1
2
p.m. for
p.m.?
me.
Damn, that's even better.
For me and Zero, it's 5, 6 a.m.
Well, anyway, we're gonna just start this off by introducing ourselves. Hi, I'm Zero. I'm the server manager. I do shit for the server. I do the promotion shit. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much me in a nutshell. Alright. Someone else can go now.
I'm CJ. I'm just music management. I'm gonna do music stuff for this. Yes.
Got any epic riffs you wanna share? That's not even gonna be in the project, just as a
Nah.
taste.
Nah.
Alright,
Too
and I am
tired.
Texhead, the co-owner of this shit.
Yep.
With
Basically,
SGR.
basically discount SGR, but now the SGR isn't here. You are SGR.
No, British
Yeah, I suppose
FDR.
I fill in as the owner.
British. You're Brit.
I'm Britain. Ain't no problem with that.
Yeah. True.
Alright, we're gonna start off by talking about Skylanders. The
Yeah,
whole
why not?
thing this is based off of.
The whole
So,
thing that the
Skylanders.
thing is. Yeah, Skylanders.
What's everyone's favorite Skylander? We'll just start this off basic.
Legendary
If you're
Grim
wondering why
Creeper.
we're so unprepared, one,
Yeah,
I'm
why-
running off of 18 hours of sleep, or just 18 hours of no sleep. Two, we're just trying to see how this goes. We're barely fucking trying.
Yeah, this is mainly sort of testing. This is
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
time.
Yeah,
we are
this is
barely
like the first
trying here.
episode is mostly gonna be testing. So, yeah.
I actually have a good idea. I'm gonna get off of my Chromebook and go onto my actual PC. Y'all take the.
Oh, okay. So, chat about our podcast. People in the people are listening to this right now.
How about some more lore?
Of what?
Is it, lore for
What?
the original Skylanders universe or lore for everything? Right, well, I know, because I don't know everything. I actually came in here very late despite being, I don't know, sort of one of the main guys. I'm aware that SGR started one in Roblox. I've not seen anything about it, but I accidentally found
Oh,
it.
I played it. I also accidentally found it at one. I played it as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I played it a bit.
I can't get in. It's private at the moment, so I've never been able to
No.
experience it.
I've experienced it. When I played, I'm pretty sure I found it. I just got tons of coins and bought every Skylander. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, something.
I've never been able to play the original Roblox. I sort of re-enter the Skylanders community. Me and SGR sort of get to know each other, I guess, and then he introduces me to his project. I'm like, I mean, I fucking know how to do these things. I can help you. And he's like, yeah, that'd be great. And I don't know, I just sort of start the new thing, and now it's in Unity and got a proper development cycle.
Yeah. Now there's gonna be basically a proper game thing.
Exactly, yeah.
A proper recreation. It'll actually be good.
What is your biggest development issue so far? I'm not entirely sure, really. Everything's sort of gone really smoothly.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've been able to sort of implement what I want, really, at the moment. I'd probably say it's just the animations that are the issue.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's sort of really been smooth sailing. And when I can't develop it, that's also a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
When I can, yeah, just have a vision and I just sort of make it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing to do.
I wish I could be able to envision what I want to do and then actually do it. Mostly cause I know nothing about coding and whatnot. So yeah.
What got you back into the Skylanders community, both of you? What got you back into it, CJ?
Well, I just decided to start playing Skylanders again, and because I've been 5 years since I last played when I started playing again. So then I like this, so I'm gonna join just gonna see what community there is, and there was a surprisingly big community and whatnot. And I've made a ton of online friends that way.
For me, it was freaking buying some Hammer Slam Bowser amiibos, and I was like, I mean, I'm never gonna use these as Skylanders, because I wasn't part of the community at all. Well, afterwards, I think I see a Boombringer video crop up in my recommended, so I go watch it. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty neat. let me go boot it up, and then I go look at my Skylanders. Yeah, this game basically made my childhood. This was an absolutely splendid game. So I go back, go play them, and I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, I guess you could say it's Boombringer who got me back into it. A bit
Yeah,
of Boombringer.
yeah, pretty much for you.
Yeah, so here we are now. Pretty interesting. What is everyone's favorite games with a reason? Is that Skylanders games or
I
any
think
game?
Skylanders games. Do you mean Skylanders games? Yeah, Skylanders games.
Skylanders. Okay. Well, I have not played all of them by any means of the imagination. Only 3.
I play my favorite Skylanders games is SuperChargers because I think it's really fun. I think it has a great story. I really like the car gimmick. I like the music. I don't know if I already said that.
With the 3 I've played, I'm a bit on the board between Giants and Superchargers. Because Giants is obviously like the sort of legacy one. I'm a fan of how it looks and stuff like that. But Superchargers, you can definitely see is so much ambition into the title. You've got a darker story.
Yeah,
The vehicles, I have not a single complaint about them, which is really weird. I've heard so much people dislike them.
I really like the vehicle sections, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I've never played the air vehicles though, because the only air vehicle I have is the Cloud Cruiser. I don't have a Wii U. I think definitely from a gameplay perspective, Superchargers is the best game in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
From what I've played. And then Giants, it had like a 10-month development cycle. It was very quick. But I've heard the developers' opinions, and they all like really loved how quick it was. So that's good for them, definitely.
Yeah.
But no, Superchargers, I'm a fan. I think Superchargers, that's the best sort of figures and characters because they're not overpowered, like any Trapmaster or anything. And there's no cause, which really deters everyone.
In Superchargers, my favorite Skylander actually is good in that game, though.
Which Skylander is that?
Legendary Grim Creeper.
Yeah.
Like they're good in most of the game modes except Nightmare mode.
Yeah, I'm a bit sucky with Nightmare mode, but you also unlock it from the beginning with the VV games.
Yeah.
But no, I really like Superchargers, especially because it's a newer game, so it has more figure compatibility. And I just like the vehicles in a physical sense as well, are by far the best because they're posable, and you can push them along the ground, or if it's a other vehicle, you can sort of like
just move.
They have rotatable parts. Yeah, it's a very good gimmick for children to play with. And then you got tramps, which don't even stand up. Bit of an issue.
I actually lost my car one for the game, so I literally had to pirate it just so I could use the instant vehicle.
But no, my favorite, I think, mainly with how the development cycle was longer, and definitely with the story, I'm gonna say Superchargers.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think if I play it more, it will 100% be my favorite. I suppose that Swap Force's gimmick, I think, was carried over the best. I know there's none of the swap zones, but those were boring anyway, I suppose.
Yeah, oh no, they were boring.
But no, I need to play Swap Force. Swap Force UI is quite nice.
Oh yeah,
although
it is.
They messed up Molten Hot Dog's face. I'll never forgive them for that.
I don't remember what that looks like, mostly because I haven't seen it.
Zero, you there, buddy?
This was hard. I couldn't even get the damn thing to work. I could be able to hear. It's just I couldn't actually get my mic working on it.
But no, I've got the crystal purple hot dogs, and I've got the series 1.
Wait, you have a purple hot dog? Oh yeah,
I want that
your
one.
favorite Skylanders hot dog, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Definitely a good Skylander overall, in my opinion. Definitely glad they got a Series 2. And I've always wanted to get the purple Frito-Lay alt, the case variant. I was like, well, I see it on eBay. I know it's pretty expensive, but I better get it. And I managed to get it. And it's completely boxed, so it's got a lot of value.
How much money do you think your collection is worth?
Well,
I think mine's probably a little over $1,000. Also, my Skylanders are sitting in a fucking crate now.
Mine were in one of those carry bags, but then I got a
Used to be, they're still in the carrier bags. Just now, they're in the carrier bags in a box.
I would have spent a lot in the day, because that's when they were at their regular retail price. But now they don't have
I mean, there are
any other
some
chase variants.
Skylanders, like most SSA Skylanders, you could probably find under retail price, but like almost every other Skylander that's not from Spyro's Adventures more than retail price.
Yeah, and I only have 2 SSA characters, that being Terrafin and Ghost Roadster. I've got a very weird array of figures, definitely not consistent. Like, I think I don't even have a track team. I've only got like 1 or no cores from that game. I definitely didn't buy any of the cores for Swap Force Trap Team. I bought a bit more cores for Swap Force, like
Well, probably
Junebug.
because there was like zero marketing for the cores, like at all. Maybe besides Riptide, because he did have that commercial with Star Strike.
Yeah, and
So
well,
did
I just didn't
Popcorn.
own those 2
Popcorn was
games
like the
either.
only really marketed or like widely owned core as people like the little ball. People like the little puffy ball. That's why people like Wrecking Ball.
Exactly. Yeah, I love Wrecking Ball.
I don't have him.
I actually earlier
But I want
today
him.
just bought Wrecking Ball because I've never owned him.
Series 2.
Oh, Series 1, so I can.
I don't own that one. He looks a bit weird.
Oh yeah,
In
no,
the
Series
first
1
figure.
does look weird. I want to get Series 2.
I mean, to be fair, the Series 2 has its going primal mode with its tusks.
Yeah, that's really big bottom teeth, doesn't it? But it's not really distracting. I thought it would be weirder, but no, it works. I thought there was a Series 3 before where the top teeth also grew long, but apparently,
Series 3, of course, went to Spyro.
yeah.
Though Spyro didn't get the supercharger, went to Pop Fizz.
I don't think there were any quadrupedal superchargers, were there?
No, every element got a repose for superchargers. Like Undead went to Roller Brawl.
Why did it
was like
go
Trigger
to,
Happy, etc.
Why did it go to Roller Brawl instead of either Chop Chop or Grim Creeper? Like,
I really
better
like the
would be
fact that they brought back
Woman.
Rollerball.
Woman, that's one.
okay,
Woman,
woman.
yeah.
Okay, that's a fair point. Woman.
Exactly, but no, I'm glad that they brought her back. Once again, I didn't play Swap Force, so I don't own the original. But seeing another Chop Chop, in my opinion, wouldn't have been very creative. I think it's a pretty interesting pick.
I mean, did we really need 5 Gilgrunts?
I mean, there are more Stealth Elves if you consider like legendaries and darks, because she has
True.
like 2 darks and a legendary, and like 4 other figures.
Well, that once again brings up the argument for Roller Brawl. Woman.
Woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Woman.
I don't know. I like the fact that they got Bone Brusher. I like the redesign as well.
Let's actually talk about the game now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you head on down to the sneak peek, you can see that the whole hub is completely changed. Now there's an actual UI.
Oh yeah, which is good. Like,
Yeah,
there's-
that looks pretty nice. I like the characters' pictures as well.
Exactly. Yeah,
No
they're all
longer-
there from the
no longer
original.
white boxes.
Exactly. They're all there. Every single character, and
You
I've
have
implemented.
every model in the game now? Like, is it not just Terrafin and SGR? Or, not SGR, but Spanish Ghost Roaster? Ghost Roaster?
Well, in terms of models, I've got 10 of them in the files, but I've got every single Skylander model on me.
So yeah, please reveal to this Texhead, when do you think build 0.4 will be out? I played 0.3 like a few hours ago. Not gonna lie, there wasn't that much to do.
yeah, there really
Exactly. Yeah,
wasn't.
there was a bit of a continuity error with 0.1, 0.2, and 0.3 with how I handle it with SGR.
Well, it feels
'Cause-
like 0.4 is gonna be much bigger than 0.3.
Oh yeah, it does. It looks like it's going to be.
Yeah, I'll have to speak about that in a minute, but there was a bit of an error because I gave it to SGR. He added the completely different map, but he named it 0.3, which I wasn't expecting. I was like, okay, that is a bit of a leap. I don't just changing the map. I don't think was an entire change. I think it would be like sort of 0.2.1 or something. But with this new update, it's actually not going to be called 0.4. What I actually did was I got the project files from 0.3, and then in a way backported them to 0.2. So it's actually not 0.4. It's actually going to be called 0.2.1 because it's built off 0.2.
Oh, so you So you completely ditched 0.3 and built the completely new updates off of the .2 build.
Yeah, exactly. Because the way SGR handled it, it was a bit, I don't know, wrong.
It was a
I
bit
suppose.
fucky what to put
It was just a bit of some errors with the way you implement things. So I was like, okay, well, if I get the models and all, backport them into the one I'm familiar with, and then
But what do you
everyone.
think you've currently done? Because as of this recording of March 26th, we still don't have a mailman. I'm not even sure if we've done anything to address that.
Yeah, well, server-wise, I'm not entirely.
That's my job.
Exactly.
I've
I'm
asked
not
to
the guy
be
for
the
the server.
mailman because I could probably do that, but I never really got a response about that. Wow. Now what should we talk about?
Hmm.
I see little Goatman says, "Are you adding Vind up to the game, or Vinder, whatever you want to, or Gearhead Vinder?"
Wind up. I call him Wind up. Wind up.
I call him
Yeah,
the Vind up.
are you going to? That's a good question, actually.
Mhm.
In
Yeah.
terms of like the characters that are going to be playable and used for this game,
Yeah.
because the original Skylanders universe, I'm pretty sure only had Giants characters and Spyro's Adventures characters. Would
It
you
had.
add other characters for like Wind Up?
We could add
Well.
SuperChargers characters, possibly, right?
Yeah. Well, look. I had 48 characters from SSA and Giants. Um, and obviously it had all the legendaries and it had all the alts which were introduced to Giants.
Yeah.
And all of that jazz. But apart from that, yeah, it only had the characters from the first two games. And at the moment, there's we only have ambitions really to do those two games because the models and the engines are different for the later games, I guess.
That's true.
Like
Yeah,
in Track Team, they do use well, it's not the same engine, I guess. It's like the same tools, I suppose, as
in
Giants.
code.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's like using the same backend, I suppose, as Giants and Spider's Venture. It's like the same files and all, even though it's a bit different engine. But I won't get into that.
Yeah.
But
It is.
no, because it's not because the models are different, but they are higher poly and all, but also because it's just unfaithful to add them. I'm not saying that we won't add any characters. I would love to add Swap Force characters, but
Yeah.
at the moment, eyes are currently set on just the SSA characters. And then once all of those are done, and I've done even more.
I mean, I feel like it's not like we don't have. I don't feel like we just have to immediately push this game out. Like we could
Oh no, we
wait.
don't. We can.
We could wait a
take some
while until we release this.
time.
Actually,
Oh yeah.
like even after it's fully released, we can still just update the game on what we want to add. And what do you think is going to be in the next build text? Like, what is actually going to change? You currently have on your mind? Because the last build was released 24 days ago now. But
Well,
the fans want content. We need to deliver.
exactly, yeah. Well, monthly builds is what I was looking at, which sounds like a long time, but it keeps you, yeah, it keeps you interested, and
At least we also
it
have
keeps.
sneak peeks. Like monthly builds aren't bad. I mean,
No, but we
it
also give
adds
away a
more
lot of sneak
content than
peeks.
Time Troop. Hee hee ha.
It's not like we're keeping you out of in the dark. Anyway. So I don't know. Monthly, it's not monthly. It's like whenever I feel like we've done enough, but that is around every single month, maybe even
Yeah.
2 weeks if I'm feeling, I don't know, quite generous.
Because the UI makes it look like all the SSA characters have models, or like what I've seen so far is the UI is completely changed
Mm-hmm.
and all the characters have models in the game. You could theoretically just click the Dino Ring and walk around as Dino Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got 22 characters to go. The first 10 on the list load up as their characters, and then all the rest load up as Delta Rosa, who's a test character. That it's like sort of a template.
Mm.
So this,
Now,
I
what
don't know. I
about
guess it's
walk animations? Because currently it's just a T pose.
Oh yeah.
yeah. At
like-
the moment, I've actually because of the new load system, I've sort of broken the animations. I'll be able to fix it in no time flat, but I'm going to fix it after I've implemented all the models. Which, I don't know, I'm not sure if that sounds smart or stupid, but It's something I'm going to do. I want to
I
implement all
mean,
the
for a
models
walk
first.
or a run animation, you could probably just take the run animation out of the game, correct? Like, theoretically, Double
The mod,
Trouble's move animation?
the animations from the original games.
Yeah, like, just slap it into SUR.
Yeah, that's where the problem is, because at the moment no tool can rip the animations.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yet.
that's
Of
where
course.
a big problem is.
For people that actually know about the original game, it was an online game, so how do you plan to implement that?
I think you can do peer-to-peer connections, which wouldn't cost anything, but obviously you need to unveil your IP address to do a peer-to-peer. I think. I don't think servers will cost too much. They won't be implemented anytime soon. I don't want to spend too much money.
Making it so you can do it online.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much money when it's not even released to do that.
Yeah.
We are far from this being perfect, but hey,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
working, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah, I think SGI want just like I don't want to say his name, but the double L person from Time True.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think just like him, he's a
Fan of
bit too static.
active fan of Snapshot also.
I don't like Snapshot. I like
Oh,
he was gonna be a core in Giants. If you didn't
It
know,
was
called
Crypt
Bullseye.
yeah.
King was
He
going to be a
was.
giant, aka Chomp Daddy, aka the YouTuber Crypt Crusher.
Yep, exactly. And I have his model. I do have Chop Chop Daddy's model, which is his name. If it sounds weird, get over it. That is his name.
Chop Chop Daddy. Chop Chop Daddy. That's not. I'm sorry. I should not talk in that voice.
Don't say what we all think you're gonna say. Just stay
Snapshot is
quiet.
cool. Yeah, I don't like his catchphrase, crock and roll. It's just a bit boring.
Okay, Lobstar is
I've never
way
played
better.
as him, so I can't. No, I can't give too much opinions. But
I really like
he's.
Lobstar compared to him.
Oh yeah, I have 2 Winterfest lobsters, and I can say they're quite cool.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Lobstar and Winterfest Lobstar. My
I don't even
original
own an
Winterfest.
original Lobster. I don't only own the Winterfest one, and I
I think Winterfest
bad
might be more common.
I have the normal
I think the Winterfest
Lobstar.
one's cooler looking. The other one's literally
Yeah.
just black.
Blue black.
Yeah.
That might be taken out of pocket. Stop.
Oh, that should be actually. That might be funny out of pocket.
Oh Jesus Christ! No,
Yeah, that'd be funny as hell.
Yeah, it would.
no, stop! Wait.
But no, we all have Winterfest lobsters, I suppose. So I guess he's more common.
Yeah.
I would.
In fact, I have
probably
2 because
say
one of them's
so,
broke.
yeah.
I have one, but his hands are missing.
Yeah. Does anyone else have like his left or right arm just gone?
No, I have both his arms.
My
just
Lob
gone.
Star is missing its ninja stars.
Oh yeah, there was. I saw one. No, was it? I don't know. I saw. I think a lobster missing one of his actual Traptanium stars in the CEX.
He's just
Little
missing
goat
his
man's
hands.
lobster is intact.
Not about talking about Lobstar, but back to the actual game. Another question I had was, oh fuck, I forgot it when we were talking about Lobstar. Oh, you were on the topic of Len, so you can continue that.
Okay.
Yeah, like Len was very carried away with the development. He was posting about the littlest things just to, get people excited. But you could tell that they're sort of scraping to release anything.
Yep.
And I don't want to compare SGR to that, but I think SGR, also being 15 years of age,
I think
definitely gets carried
I
away.
think SUR is really different compared to Time Troop. Yeah, they're still both technically fan games, quote unquote. Time Troop is a completely different game.
It's a very different concept.
And also
SUR
looks
is a remake of something that already exists.
And it's
Yeah.
already looking
Existed.
super good. It's looking way better than Time Troop, even though, like, this is kind of recent.
Actually, I feel like this is a good topic to talk about. So CJ, you actually work on the
Yeah.
project as well, correct?
Yes, I do. I work on the music for the project, which will probably be the only thing good about that project.
Do you have any info on that project that you wish to share? As when I first met SGR almost a year ago now, he sent me even DMs about like when he left the project, about sort of like Len being an asshole. I mean, the pretty much the Skylanders community, especially Boombringers, is not a fan of Lenlen. That's pretty much known
Oh yeah,
now,
no,
but
that's for sure.
I'm definitely curious to see what goes on within development that you want to share.
Lenlin just really like he says he'll listen to stuff. Like he says he'll do stuff. Like he'll listen to us. He'll give us terms for stuff and whatnot. Nope, that doesn't happen. Like,
So
Is he
we were,
just? And does he not trust people? Because like his
not really.
moderators don't have mod.
He gave the mods mod now, but he still doesn't really trust people, and he doesn't talk much. He's whenever he wants me to make a music thing, he doesn't describe well what he wants me to make. That's
how
one of his
much
biggest
power do
problems.
you actually have in the project?
How much
Hmm.
power?
How much say do you get in what happens or something?
I get just as much as like the other people, so not much.
So everything has to go through Lenlen, and
Yeah,
everything has to get approved by Lenlen. There's
yeah,
no
pretty much.
other person who can
Hmm.
make pretty much decisions.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they make.
And then we've also got Resistance Pasta, who's in this Discord, who's also part of that. And they
Oh
also
yeah, no,
described.
maybe another episode of our epic podcast we could go into more depth about what's going on in the development of Time Troop from
Yeah,
Time Troop workers.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah, because we've got two that we know of, like just in here, and
Yeah,
One of them
neither
is
of them
working
seem to
with
share.
us, so
Neither of
yeah.
them seem to share very much good things about it.
Oh
so
yeah,
anything
no.
else you want to share, even if it's positive things about Time Troop, because I know it must probably be hard for even like Len to
Hmm.
develop Time Troop, although half of the Skylanders community is pretty much just
Dislikes him.
bashing on it
Oh yeah.
24/7.
Like
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it gets some additional hate. I mean, I know that's mainly because of Len, but as a game itself, the project of Time Troop does get some hate, and from an
I
outsider's
mean, Time
perspective,
Troop is much bigger than SUR. I'm gonna
Oh
say
yeah.
that right
Like
yeah,
they're
now. I
trying
mean,
to be way
it's
too
hopefully
been it's
down
been
the
around for
ambitious.
road,
so much
SUR can
longer.
hopefully get bigger, but even if it's as big, we'll take that as a epic W.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
I can.
I think a lot of people, because of their lack of info, are like, oh my god, SUI is so much better. I'm like, I mean, it's just walking around characters, 2 maps and 10 characters. It's
Well,
not.
it still
I don't know what's in Time Troop.
still
So
looks better
we
than.
could be on
Time
par.
Troop could be. I just think people like bashing on Time Troop because it's the funny hip thing. Like
It's like a
we
scapegoat for
if we
people.
know, like we have CJ, you said we have Resistance Pasta. If we could talk to these people about what is going on within Time Troop and give people an actual like real description of what's happening into the game, maybe people will see it in a positive light
Possibly.
or
Yeah,
in a more darker light. Just the actual what's actually happening, what's real should be being spread. I think Time Troop is overhated, but no one truly knows what's actually happening.
I'm not sure if there's any public builds for Time Troop, but if there were, I would love to just look into it and just
Yeah,
tell them how to improve.
that was a question that was on my mind. If Time Troop has a current build, like how at least we have a current build, but not gonna lie, it's not even really. It's sort of just you walk around, you pretty much see everything in
It's mainly a
2 minutes.
proof of concept of the movement system, I
Yeah, but
suppose. That's how I like to call it.
that's still something at least.
I bet SUR can be great, and I think that Time Troop can be great. Just I think from what I've heard, Len needs to let more people have a say in the project.
Like some of there's two people. There's someone who's like really hates constructive criticism on the game, and I don't know why. And they are like a bitch about it. They act like a bitch whenever they get it. Like they get really pissed off for absolutely no reason.
There was a controversy at one point I thought about using free models and trying to get a monetary gain.
Oh yeah, no, they're
So
still
Yeah.
using
basically,
free
you were
money.
spending no money on the game, gaining money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like two problems with the way it's handled. You've got ripped assets from a Unity game, which they didn't rip themselves, and they're just stealing. Well, not stealing because it's free to use, but they're just models hosted on like
Free
DeviantArt, I think it
models,
was.
and you have a Patreon that's racking in money.
Yeah, by using those models.
Content that you think of adding to the game? So currently we are on the topic of a completely remodeled HUD. There's 10 current characters on the build and what we could expect for the next build of the game. As well that you're gonna
Nah.
try to have monthly builds.
Yeah. Builds will come out whenever I feel like it, but for a time frame that should be around 3-4 weeks. About to the end of each month, it'll be good, and then you've got the entire month to sort of wait for it and look forward to what you're given through all the sneak peeks. And in terms of how much will be done up until that, although they won't have animations, I want to get all 32 original models in. That would be good to see. As well as that, some proper maps, really. Because the testing map is obviously only for,
Now on
testing.
that question, it's not monthly. It's gonna mostly be monthly, but that's just how it works. Like it's not guaranteed to be monthly. That's just how fast the development normally goes.
Exactly, yeah. It's how much is implemented and whether or not I really feel like a build should
Like
come out
the
now.
monthly isn't the deadline. That's just how it normally has gone.
Yeah,
That's
everything is
currently
done
how
freely. There's
fast
no
development is
restriction.
going.
Right, there
Anyway,
he
a
is.
question that I had was, what about monetizing the game?
Okay. I stop anyone right there. If you ever put any money towards this, I'll have to completely stop you in your tracks. Don't donate a single thing. Do not add it, even if out of the kindness of your heart. We do not deserve your money. This is a fan project. No money should go towards it. Even no matter how much you want to, really, I would suggest you never try and give money to anything like this.
Oh yeah.
Because it makes people sort of crazy and it just overcomplicates things. So keep it easy. Don't give us money. If we want money, we'll get jobs.
Time to
That is a
Time troop.
that's a good way of talking about it. I don't
Exactly.
think we need a Patreon. I don't think we
No, we do
need
not.
any
We
of
do
that.
not need a Patreon. No. But if you ever need to pay for anything like this, a lot of fan games have disclaimers like if you've paid for this, you've been
Use
scammed.
your money on the plastic that we're basing this whole thing off of instead of
Actually,
giving us
Put money towards the real developers of the reason why we're doing this.
well, I don't think you can pay at the actual the people who actually made Skylanders anymore. But yeah.
If we want money, we'll get jobs. Don't ever give us money.
So true, Oomphy.
Yeah.
No.
Based quote. Watch in 2 months, we're gonna have a fucking Patreon.
Nah.
Oh no, we shouldn't. If we do get a Patreon, it shouldn't be just Skylanders Universe Remake. It should be like off. It should just be for the team, just team stuff, doing whatever.
Yeah, that's where the legality of it fumbles. If it's a Patreon for someone's efforts, then that's allowed.
Now, a good question. Or I guess we're gonna answer burning questions that people may have.
Yeah,
Let's
go ahead.
hypothetically say everything that we could even think of is in SUR. Like, it's a really good remake. It gets really popular. Business is booming.
business.
Would DevCores make something else? Like, would the, I guess, company in quotations of DevCores make something else, either Skylanders related or not?
I mean, I
Well-
would, for sure.
Well, we got 3 people in here.
What?
Half of literally in here.
What did you say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You cut
Yeah,
out for me.
he sort of bugged out. Well, he's currently gone. So. All right, so one-on-one with. Oh no, yeah, there you were.
Oh, there you
Okay, sorry.
Continue
Sorry,
with
might
your
have happened. But no, we got 3 of the DevCores here. If we want to speak about the future, we can go ahead, can't we?
go. Oh,
But DevCores at the moment is for developing SUR. But when it's hypothetically
Like in this
what would you
fictional
like to do?
universe that we've set here,
Yes.
SUR is completely done. Everything that we want or that was in the original game is in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What game?
What would we
Where
work
would
on
we
next?
go from there? Is that's what the
We
question is.
could make a Skylanders fan game, like not try to be too ambitious. We could make a fan game, either a 2D or 3D one, doesn't really matter. But we could make a fan
Yeah.
game where you play
If
as.
it's really small, any fan game that could just be repurposed like as a mini game into SUR. It's like a
No, like
bonus or
but
something like
I
that.
meant like any fan game of like any Skylander. You play as a Skylander doing insert thing here. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the future would be afterwards.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
I mean,
Well, currently, I feel like every on the teams and Skylanders Candy Crush win. That's a good question. When is the Skylanders Candy Crush?
when is it?
I dunno.
Never.
That's so true. When we gonna make that?
When are we gonna make?
Every game's had their Every game's had their Candy Crush impersonation. So we need to make that.
Yeah, we do
Coming
need to
soon
make
to mobile
We don't
games
just
near you.
Skylanders IP.
Oh yeah, we'll
Just make
buy,
every one of it.
let's just buy the Skylanders IP from.
That's gonna. It made so
Okay.
much money. That would cost too much. Like.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be
I-
millions of dollars to buy that.
Yeah.
IP.
Oh, so much. So much.
Skylanders has made more money than the entire Legend of Zelda franchise.
True.
Exactly. It's.
I don't know why
It
they
is-
decided to like. I mean I feel like they either could have stopped at SuperChargers, or if they made more games after that instead of Imagineers.
Well, SuperChargers,
do
I
different
feel like
stories.
was the idea that hey, this franchise is not doing so hot anymore
There should be
Yeah.
the last game.
because SSA, hey, this did really good. Then I went to Giants. This did even better. Swap Force did the best.
Oh, yeah.
Then when Trap Team was being made, the Skylanders hype was at its peak. That
Yeah.
was peak Skylanders hype.
Oh yeah.
And then after Trap Team was made, it still, I think, made more money than Giants.
But it was starting to die
Money
down.
Laid less money than Swap Force.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't think the developers were too about. I mean, maybe Activision was because it's Activision, but I don't think Toys for Bob was too
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
about it.
Well, there was
having
a
less
problem with
money.
Trap Team. It was the oversaturation of figures. You know, that game has the most amount of figures and cost the most to complete, and that deterred a lot of people. Like you got Traps, you got Minis, you got Trap Masters, you got all of those. It's the most amount of
You have
figures.
cores, and the
Yeah.
whole idea of that Trap Masters are now the only things that can unlock the gates.
Oh yeah, no that.
Yeah, that was
I
an
hate
entire that was an entire business model. Yeah,
Oh
you can
yeah,
see
no,
that.
that was just that
the
was just
complete
them wanting
fucking
money.
deletion of cores, pretty much from existence.
When I first heard of that, I was like, "Are you actually serious?" And yeah, it was. I was oh my god, no way did they implement that.
And then Superchargers, I don't want to bash on Superchargers, but it completely derailed the Skylanders franchise. Like, that game, compared to the other games, sold so poorly.
But I feel
It-
like it still should have been the last game at least.
Nah, Trap Team
Oh.
derailed the series. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Trap Team caused the derail, but Superchargers. Boosted it.
Superchargers was like the complete flop. Like, on the development to Trap Team, Skylanders was at its peak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Skylanders was everywhere. After Trap Team, it died down a bit, yeah. Then
Yeah, the plot-
Superchargers at least completely fell. Compared
Yeah.
to the other games, Superchargers sold the worst.
Oh yeah. They did sell the
Imaginators, then they released Imaginators, which was, it seemed even from the beginning that it was going to be the end of the series.
Yeah, well, there was meant to be a year 2 of it. You know, there was going to be they're going to have quadrupedal creations, and in the Twitch version of the files, which I have, there are actually the extra characters. But they just didn't get finalized because they never released Skylanders
wasn't
7.
it gonna be like a Dust Bunny Skylander?
Oh, that is not in Imaginators. That is in Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. There are 3
Yeah, right.
Skylanders and Crash included inside the which because that was originally Skylanders 7, Dust Bunny and then the other 2. But
Yeah.
And there's
Now-
actually concept footage of
is Skylanders Skylanders overstay its welcome? Was it too run to the ground?
it was handled because it's just handled really
It
weirdly.
was
She got
handled by
yearly
Activision,
releases.
so I don't even think you need to finish that. It
Poorly.
was handled poorly because it was Activision.
Oh yeah, no, just Activision. Activision is all you need to say.
It was pushed out each year. Like I would have loved it if it went Giants 4 years, perhaps later than Swap Force. Sorry, not Swap. First game. It might have stuck around for a bit too long. If that was 4 years, people might have died down.
Maybe
But-
if there was better production,
Oh
like
yeah.
of the actual figures.
Yeah, well, Toys for
true,
Bob-
that's fair.
They might have toys in their name, but they are not a toy company, are they? They are a games company, and they don't know
Like Toys for
exactly.
Bob's development crash now.
Mm. And I think for a company as well, they've got the perfect name to make a Toys to Life. It's just like fitting for them. Toys for Bob.
Peace Vicarious Visions.
Yeah, well, they're not even called Vicarious Visions now. They're called Blizzard Albany, I think, because they've been merged with Activision Blizzard. I've heard.
The only Toys to
only-
Life that's semi-popular is Amiibo, in which that's like
That
That's
does that
half
works.
of
That's
Toys of
functionally
Life.
very
That's
good.
just buying
like armor
stuff.
set in Breath of the Wild. Or
Toys.
like
Amiibo is truly physical DLC. That's like all it is.
Yeah, well, I have
And
a
I
couple
hate
DLC.
that.
Like, I have these Stephen Alex ones, and I have a couple like the Me Brawler and stuff like that. But no, they're handled very differently because the only real Amiibo game is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, and that game is
that fucking
hot garbage.
Straight
That game-
ass.
I would have loved a Disney Infinity-esque like Nintendo game. That would be great.
Yeah. Well, there's also a big problem with Infinity because for a series which is crossovers and Toys to Life.
Well, the
You can't
biggest
properly
gripe
cross
was
over.
obviously like I'm just gonna cut you off here. The biggest gripe was obviously you couldn't have you could have Lightning McQueen and fucking Buzz Lightyear having oral sex together. You couldn't have that. AKA
Yeah.
they couldn't cross play together, but outside.
It was
of
only in
toy box.
the toy box mode, wasn't it? Where you could
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah, there's
And the
only
And I
toy
think in the
box mode
third
was-
game as well. I think in the third game there was like a you were able to
Process
collect
mode.
something and allowed certain other
It was-
The
characters.
first
Wow.
game was just the first Disney Infinity. The second game was Marvel based, and the third game was Star Wars.
Yeah. And there was going to be a fourth one as well, which would have had, I think what I've heard, would have had proper, like, crossing over characters, but then they just cut it.
There was gonna be a big campaign.
Yeah. It annoys me. It
In a
was
land
it
far,
was just
far
handled.
away,
I don't know why
Darth
they
Vader and Lightning McQueen had an epic brawl for the ages.
exactly. It just annoys me how
There was also
all-
Jack Sparrow and Sully from Monsters
This is
Inc. in
the
that brawl as
Well,
well.
actually, it was. I think it was Sully
Yeah,
from Monsters University.
Oh yeah, because that was Monsters University was the new movie, so they wanted to brand.
Yeah, because
that.
when you look at it, other than like Mickey Mouse for some reason being from like the Fantasia movie or whatever it's called, most of the characters there are literally for like product placement. Like it's for advertising their newest movie.
Another gripe was big Disney fanboys thought there was too much Pixar representation instead of old Disney characters.
Well,
I can see that.
Because
Yeah.
they were probably just trying to advertise stuff.
Yeah, it was it was like a secondary advertising campaign, I suppose.
I feel like we've talked about everything that should be public about SUR currently, or
Yeah.
anything to expect in the new build. I don't think we've. I feel like we've talked a lot about Time Trooper. Is there any other topics we want to talk about?
We can spring back on Time Troop if you'd like.
I mean, I
Alright,
don't
fuck it.
really-
Let's
Keep dogging on it.
Let's
We're-
bring back with. We were not dogging on Time.
Yeah, constructive.
Yeah, exactly. We were not hating on it for
I
no reason.
even publicly said, like, even you could go back into the when this goes to YouTube, you can go back in the audio. I said something along the lines of, I don't hate Time Troop. I just don't personally like Len, and I think Time Troop can succeed, and I sort of want it to succeed. Like, It's Skylanders.
There's no reason why you'd not want it to succeed, really.
It would
it's
succeed if anyone but if, like someone else was the owner. As like if it's not Lenlen or the Skylander Master. Yeah. The Skylander
Really
Master
done
is
better.
someone on the team who like gets pissed off when people do constructive criticism and whatnot. For
I think that's a
absolutely
really
no
bad.
reason.
I think that's a really bad way to handle
that's
things.
a
in development.
horrible mindset to have.
They
Exactly.
get pissed off. They tell the person to leave the team and whatnot, and he asks Lenlen to kick the person from the team.
Yeah, that
That sounds like a
horrible
really
mindset
gross
to
business
have.
model. That's really gross.
Oh yeah. A random question: do you think the devs of the game could like get special stuff, like get their own Skylanders specifically with specific looks and whatnot?
Like DevCore and anyone that contributed have like a special bonus?
Yeah, like they have their own like special Skylander.
Well, currently on my mind,
something.
I have the first thing that I have on my mind as like a brand as that DevCores is. I feel like we need a
Yeah, go ahead.
graphic. I feel like we definitely need a graphic.
Like a
Like
Something
graphic,
about the
DevCores.
DevCores brand, because mostly what we're using a fucking stock image of Skylanders universe as our brand. Like for even like the YouTube and Twitter banner, I feel like we should put the DevCores graphic. Even
Oh yeah.
even just the wrecking ball or the bean reaction graphic should
Oh
even
no, I
work
really
perfectly.
like that. I don't know why.
I have the blend file. I can open it up now, but it's very screen based. If you look at it from the wrong angle, as some of you might have seen, it is a abomination. Very, very cursed. And I might sneak that into the game somewhere. Like Bean Skylander
Oh yeah,
playable.
no, that's
But obviously
no, not playable. Just there. Maybe just have
just
it like
this
where
somehow,
if you-
yeah.
Yeah, he's like
Make it
hiding
so-
on a roof.
Skylanders SuperChargers. Half of the community loves it, half of the community despises it.
Oh,
From a
I
gameplay
love it.
standpoint, it's fantastic from a like game development, but from what happened with it, it's undeniable that it did do stuff wrong, and because of the previous titles, it led to the downfall.
Yeah.
There were like 3 quadrants of games. You got the first 2, which are like the legacy renderware, sort of like the washed out looking nostalgic games. Then you got the next 2, which like the ones which how to describe them, but just like the
Some new
modern age
content
ones.
and
The
ideas.
modern
Weird
games.
to think
And
that
then the postmodern.
Skylanders Giants looks really good. Like looks visually better than like the other titles.
It does look pretty good for its time, but I think SuperChargers looks better. But that's
I was looking at the rendering between SSA and Giants, and I'm pretty sure SSA has better rendering. I might be wrong on
think
that.
so too.
I don't know why. I'm just a dick writer for UIs and how they look. I think
Oh
Skylanders
yeah,
Giants UI
I
looks
love
amazing.
Giant UI. I love
Oh yeah,
Giant
no,
UI.
the Giants UI is great. It's really good.
Something
for
you might
really
not have known as
young
well is because it's semi-transparent and it has this glass effect, and it actually distorts the image behind it. So if it's in front of like a character, they'll be slightly wavy, which is a detail I never noticed.
Yeah,
Like
I
this,
think
it's
this
like
Giants UI looks really sexy. Just like on that topic, there's so many. I feel like I just hate modern day everything pretty much.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no,
you can
we've
just
been
talk about-
speaking. We've been speaking for an hour 45 of pretty much just Skylanders, Toys to Life, SUR, and Time Troop, really, which I've learned a lot about Time Troop.
yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's good, but it's got ambition, and it's being handled completely
Biggest
wrong.
point that we've made is just Lenlen needs to just give up on the project, or
He
not
yeah,
give
he
up
might
on the
love it.
project, but
Well,
get
not
rid
give
of the
up, but give
project.
someone else the head of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he loves the project or not, because the way he handles things, he actually looks like he hates the
Or
project.
just like give someone like a co-owner role. Like SGR is not solo making this game. He has text head. That's
Exactly,
text head's
yeah.
job.
Well,
Like,
I'm the
he
main
needs to do
drive at the
something
moment.
like that.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not. SGR is handling currently the models and everything, and then I'm the entire drive of the Unity project. I've got it on my computer. I've got it booted up right now, actually, and I've
Are
started the
you
project. and it's in the
developing
first stage.
game and talking? Damn, bro,
Yeah, I
was
know.
on the grind.
Oh wow!
Exactly.
Grind. Epic. That's epic.
Yeah, it is the grind. Yeah, but no, I've got 10 characters implemented. You got Ghost Road. Well, actually 11 because Delta Rosa, which I don't know why SGR came up with that name, but it's just a testing character, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an
So
actual test.
when can you expect the fourth build to come out.
Yeah.
Do
well,
you think
might
that it come
confuse-
out this month? Like, will it be in April?
All right. Well, it might confuse some people, but it's not going to be called 0.4 because I think the number progression, I think SGR sort of threw off whack a bit.
Yeah.
You said it's
I
gonna be
might call it
1.2.1.
0.3.1, but
Oh,
at the
no.
moment I've actually just referred to it as 0.2.1 because it's built off of 0.2.
Yeah.
I feel like another thing that should probably be implemented, or another just step in the work production of SUR, or at least the work production that we can publicly talk about without spoiling too much, is at making more voice lines. Like, I've currently recorded a Blobber's voice line. We need more CJ music and me and Nikki voicing,
Yes.
like more voice lines.
Just more noises. Just more noise things.
I mean, that's pretty much like the gripes, and I feel like
Yeah.
just fixing just more development on the game, because mostly I'm always here, but then again I mostly just do the Discord things. I do the promotion, I do the Discord, I don't really focus on the game, I just give my constructive criticism on the game.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm open to any feedback.
You know?
Oh yeah, we're also gonna need a thumbnail. Maybe you thumbnail as well.
Have you seen my
Insert
thumbnails?
drawing of every character. Just insert drawing of the dev team.
Oh, you want? We should ask Eddie to make a thumbnail. We should all have our own sprites that we use. That'd actually be sort of cool.
We just have our own characters that talk. I'm just there.
Oh, hey, that's also another burning question. To end this off.
Asks.
Yeah. Are we going to use a portal system?
This one in the poll that I asked the other day. Where is it? If I go to polls, I asked. Let me use this feature real quick. All right, so I've done an implement the UI buttons for the 32 original characters. If I get the proper prefab, which is like a prefabricated asset, which is just models and the scripts already attached. What would you like to see next? And it's React with A for an isolated development of a minigame. You know, if you'd like to see a minigame implemented, then go for A. And it was B function layer, which is like a different scene you load up and it shows all your characters around a portal. C, which is locked characters, and then using like the portal to unlock them. But I actually need to get a Wii portal or like a universal portal, like a PS4, because the one I have didn't work. And then for D, it was something else, and no one else had their own opinion.
It was mostly a resounding C. C was the clear winner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now who doesn't want a portal to work?
I think C would obviously be the coolest.
I'll have to look at doing that. I know there have been some slight legal issues with using the portal, but I think that was because of people using it to tweak their Skylanders. You know, like give them infinite money or whatever.
Oh, like Skyreader?
Yeah. Well, it was actually previous technology. Someone documented it, and it actually got taken down because of the information. But in terms of in this game, the portal is only used to unlock a character. It doesn't actually interact with the Skylander. It just sort of reads their character ID. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not doing it. There would be absolutely no problem with just using it as a NFC reader, basically.
Yeah.
Because I'm not tweaking the Skylander. I'm not writing to them. It'll be all fine, from what I know.
When we close this, which we're about to close this, but when we get out of here, I'm gonna talk to people like I'm gonna try to talk with guys like Mr. Rolling Circle and Papa Crypt for an interview on the DevCores podcast.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be great. Just getting an interview with SkyTubers.
All right, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe or don't, or just a view, view counts. You can subscribe, follow our Twitter for other updates, and I would assume, but join our Discord, as that's going to be the main thing that we post things on, and how you can access the builds for the video game. Alright, well, see you guys.
Yeah, see you guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you all.